The clock just struck a moment of absolute precision, and as your eyes find these words, you must realize that the synchronization you are experiencing is not a coincidence of the mechanical world. It is a divine signal. You didn't just click on a video. You answered a summons that has been echoing through the corridors of your lineage for centuries. There is a weight you have been carrying, a specific type of exhaustion that sleep cannot fix because it isn't your body that is tired. It is your soul. You have been the pillar, the one who stays quiet so others can be loud, the one who holds the structure together while the storm rages outside. You have walked through seasons of isolation where the only voice you heard was the internal whisper telling you to just keep going even when you didn't know where you were headed. Stay with me. You have lived through moments where you felt like a stranger in your own life, watching others receive the credit for the seeds you planted with your own tears. You stayed human when the world tried to make you cold. You chose integrity when shortcutting would have been easier. There is a quiet strength in you, a chosen quality that makes you different from the rest. You didn't become bitter when they betrayed you. You just became quieter. You didn't seek revenge when they lied about your name. You just retreated into the secret place where only truth lives. You carried the pressure of expectations that were never yours to fulfill. Yet you didn't complain. God said stop looking for validation from the very people I am removing from your circle. I am shifting the atmosphere of your home and your mind. This is not just a change of luck. It is a total atmospheric reversal. I am moving the mountains that you thought you had to climb. Now stand still and watch as the terrain of your life flattens to make a way for your feet. The pressure you have felt lately has been immense. It feels like the walls are closing in, like every direction you turn leads to a new demand or a new disappointment. But you must understand that the pressure is not there to crush you. It is there to refine the diamond that has been forming in the dark. You are the chosen one of your bloodline, the one who was sent to break the cycles of lack, the cycles of silence, and the cycles of hidden pain. You have felt the sting of being misunderstood, even by those who share your DNA. You have felt the loneliness of being the only one who sees the cliff everyone else is walking toward. You stayed aligned when breaking was easier. God said, I have placed a hedge of protection around your thoughts because the enemy tried to use your own mind as a battlefield. Hear this. The war for your attention is over. I am decreeing a season of mental clarity so sharp it will feel like scales falling from your eyes. Do not look back at the burning bridges. They were lit by my hand to ensure you never return to what was killing you. You have spent so much time wondering if you were doing it right, if your endurance actually meant anything, or if you were just a glutton for punishment. You stayed human under the most inhumane pressures. You remained a person of peace in a world that thrives on chaos. This quiet power you possess is not weakness. It is the ultimate form of spiritual authority. You didn't shout to be heard. You let your results eventually speak, and even when the results were delayed, you didn't abandon who you were. You kept standing when others would have folded. Before we go deeper, do one simple thing. Comment 777 to seal this word over your life. Then add one word that describes your pressure right now. Tired, waiting, betrayed, ready. After you post it, take 3 seconds and reply, I agree. To one other comment, don't watch alone. God said this is your confirmation. The delay was not a denial. It was a divine insulation. I had to keep you hidden while I dealt with the giants in the land you are about to inherit. If I had given it to you sooner, the weight would have broken you. But now you are ready. Now I am opening the floodgates of resources that have been dammed up by the enemy's interference. Consider the times you sat in your car and cried until your eyes were red, only to wipe your face, put on a smile, and walk into a room to serve people who had no idea you were breaking. That is the mark of the chosen. That is the integrity of the one who understands that their calling is higher than their current emotion. You stayed human when you had every right to turn into a monster. You kept your heart soft when the world tried to turn it into stone. You remained aligned with your truth when the lie was more profitable. You didn't become bitter, you became better even if no one else noticed the growth. God said, "Hear this. I am calling for a divine audit of your life. Every tear you shed in private has been recorded as a deposit in the bank of heaven. The interest has been compounding for years. I am now authorizing a massive withdrawal of favor to be poured into your lap. You will not have to work for this. You will simply walk into it. Every 6,000 steps you took in the wrong direction were allowed so that you would finally appreciate the right path when it appeared. Think about your career, the place where you spend your days. You have felt like an outsider, like someone who has the answers, but is never invited to the meeting. You have watched people with half your talent and a fraction of your character get promoted over you. You didn't sabotage them. You didn't whisper in the hallways. You just kept doing the work. This is the quiet power of the chosen one. You didn't need the title to know you were the leader. God said the very hand that tried to hold you back will be the hand that has to sign the document for your elevation. I am making your enemies your footstool, not for your ego, but for my glory. Stay still. Do not try to defend yourself. I am your advocate in the courts where you have no voice. I am decreeing an immediate shift in your professional standing. You have navigated the silent warfare of the mind. The enemy used delay as a weapon to make you think God had forgotten your address. You started to believe that maybe this was just your lot in life, to be the one who almost makes it. But you kept standing. You didn't abandon the vision even when it felt like a hallucination. You remained human under the pressure of constant not yets and maybe laters. Your integrity in the waiting room is what qualified you for the throne room. You didn't sell your soul for a temporary seat at a table where you weren't even welcome. God said, "Hear this. The season of the almost is dead. I am resurrecting the already." This is your confirmation that the breakthrough is not coming. It is already here, waiting for your frequency to match its arrival. Stop speaking the language of the desert when you are standing at the edge of the oasis. Change your vocabulary to match your new reality. The pivot in your life is happening right now. Think about your relationships, the people who claimed to be your foundation, but turned out to be your ceiling. You felt the pain of outgrowing people you thought would be with you forever. It's a specific kind of grief, the grief of the living. You had to let go of hands that were trying to pull you back into the version of yourself you worked so hard to kill. You stayed human in the face of betrayal. You didn't leak their secrets. You didn't drag their name through the mud. You just walked away with your head held high, even though your heart was heavy. God said, "I am the one who disconnected those lines. Do not try to repair what I have intentionally broken. They were anchors, not sails. I am bringing you into alignment with a new tribe, people who speak the language of your future, not the dialect of your past. Stay open. New connections are forming in the spiritual realm that will manifest in the physical in the coming days. You have been through the fire of refinement. You know what it's like to have your motives questioned when your heart was pure. You know what it's like to be the scapegoat for a family's dysfunction, and yet you didn't let that define you. You stayed aligned when breaking was easier. You kept your eyes on the light even when the darkness felt thick enough to touch. This is why you were chosen, not because you are perfect, but because you are persistent. You stayed human when the pressure tried to turn you into a machine of survival. God said, I am shifting the burden. You have been carrying the weight of the world, but I am now placing it on the shoulders of the angels I have assigned to you. Your job is no longer to carry. Your job is to command. Speak to the mountain. Do not tell me about the mountain. Tell the mountain about its creator. I am decreeing a release of every spiritual blockage that has hindered your progress. There is a calm certainty beginning to rise within you. It's a feeling that the worst is behind you and that something massive is about to break. This awareness is not a fluke. It is the preparation for the transformation that is already underway. You are moving from a state of endurance to a state of sovereignty. You are no longer just surviving the storm. You are beginning to realize that you are the one who can speak to the wind. Your inner stability is becoming unshakable because it isn't built on circumstances. It's built on the solid rock of your calling. You stayed human when everyone else became a critic. God said, hear this, the pressure was the preparation. You couldn't handle the power of the next level without the discipline of this one, but the training is over. I am moving you from the hidden place to the public square. This is your confirmation that your voice will no longer be muffled. Now speak with the authority I have given you. True power is not just what you hold in your hands, but what you can release without fear. What you carry becomes lighter when you stop gripping it, like proof of your worth. Strength isn't only endurance, it's allowing what's good to move through you without trying to own it or control it. You have reached a level of maturity where you realize that you are a conduit, not a container. You are becoming a vessel that can hold the weight of glory without cracking. You didn't break. You didn't turn cruel when the world was unkind to you. You didn't let the poison of other people's opinions seep into your spirit. That's why this shift is real. You have been tested in the secret places and you have been found faithful. You stayed aligned when the wind tried to knock you off course. Your integrity is the currency that is buying your freedom. And this is where transformation begins. The tone changes inside you first, before anything changes outside you. True power is not just what you can hold. It is what you can release without fear. God said, let the energy move. Hear this, you are not a container designed to hoard. You are a channel designed to circulate. When your hands open, your spirit stops negotiating with fear. You move from surviving to steering. If this message is speaking to your exact season, consider this your divine appointment. Stay with me. There is a specific kind of tiredness that comes from being responsible for outcomes you cannot control. You have been wearing a calm face while your inner world carried a storm. You stayed soft in a season designed to harden people. You remained honest when silence would have been safer. God said, I have been counting the hidden costs, not to punish you, but to repay you with peace. Hear this, I am closing the door on the season that required you to suffer in silence. So if you feel that pressure in your chest, do not treat it like a diagnosis of failure. Treat it like a signal that the old cycle has reached its end. This is the pivot. We are moving from the weight in your family to the pressure in your career. You have been the emotional foundation of a house that never asked how heavy the ceiling was. You remained honest when silence would have been safer. You remained human when survival tried to rename you. God said, I am not asking you to carry it alone anymore. Here, this support is being assigned, not requested. God said, stop proving your strength to people who only respect what they can extract. Your quiet obedience has already spoken. And as the focus shifts to your career, you will notice something subtle. What used to drain you will no longer be able to reach you. Endurance is not the ability to tolerate pain. Endurance is the decision to stay noble when the environment invites you to become numb. You stayed soft in a season designed to harden people. You kept your spirit clean in environments that rewarded corrosion. God said your restraint was not weakness, it was authority under control. Hear this, I have been teaching your spirit how to govern itself. You are learning to choose the long path that keeps your soul intact. And that is why what comes next will not corrupt you. This is the pivot. We are moving from the weight in your career to the pressure in your relationships. You have been the quiet engine of systems that pretended you were replaceable. You remained honest when silence would have been safer. You chose integrity over attention again and again. God said, I am not asking you to carry it alone anymore. Here, this support is being assigned, not requested. God said, stop proving your strength to people who only respect what they can extract. Your quiet obedience has already spoken, and as the focus shifts to your relationships, you will notice something subtle. What used to drain you will no longer be able to reach you. Now comes awareness the moment you realize the pressure was not random. It had a curriculum. You can see patterns now. You can see who only shows up when you are bleeding. You can see which rooms require you to shrink. God said discernment is your upgrade. Hear this, you will no longer confuse familiarity with safety. When you feel that inner no, that quiet resistance that is not anxiety, that is wisdom. This is the pivot. We are moving from the weight in your relationships to the pressure in your mind. You have outgrown connections that only loved the version of you that could be used. You remained human when survival tried to rename you. You stayed soft in a season designed to harden people. God said, I am not asking you to carry it alone anymore. Here, this support is being assigned, not requested. God said, stop proving your strength to people who only respect what they can extract. Your quiet obedience has already spoken. And as the focus shifts to your mind, you will notice something subtle. What used to drain you will no longer be able to reach you. Alignment is when your inner world stops arguing with your future. You stop begging for signs and start becoming one. You kept standing when folding would have felt like relief. You stayed soft in a season designed to harden people. God said, I am giving you calm certainty. Hear this, you will recognize the right doors because you will not have to betray yourself to enter them. Your life is not being erased. It is being repositioned. This is the pivot. We are moving from the weight in your mind to the pressure in your body. You have fought wars in your thoughts that no one applauded and still showed up with grace. You kept your spirit clean in environments that rewarded corrosion. You chose integrity over attention again and again. God said, I am not asking you to carry it alone anymore. Here, this support is being assigned, not requested. God said, stop proving your strength to people who only respect what they can extract. Your quiet obedience has already spoken. And as the focus shifts to your body, you will notice something subtle. What used to drain you will no longer be able to reach you. If this message is speaking to your exact season, consider this your divine appointment. Stay with me. What comes next is for the part of you that has been holding everything together. Now listen. Here is the discernment key most people miss. When your season shifts, some people will try to reconnect not because they love you, but because they can feel the door opening around you. God said, do not confuse a knock with permission. Hear this, not every return is restoration. Some returns are tests. If someone only wants access to the results and never honored the process, you can love them from a distance and still stay aligned. Stay with me. because this next part is the turn you have been waiting for. This is where the narrative of your life stops being a tragedy and becomes a triumph. The insight you need right now is about the shift in your circle. You are going to notice a strange phenomenon. People who used to drain your energy will suddenly find it impossible to even be in your presence. It's not that you are being mean, it's that your frequency has changed. You have moved beyond the reach of those who only know how to take. God said, I am installing a spiritual filter over your life. Only those who carry the scent of the new season will be allowed past the gate. Do not feel guilty for the silence that follows. The silence is not loneliness. It is the space I need to speak to you without interruption. This is your instruction. Embrace the quiet. It is the womb of your new identity. The transformation you are experiencing is rewriting your DNA. The generational curses that made your ancestors walk with a limp are being straightened in your spine. You are the one who is ending the poverty of the spirit in your lineage. You stayed human when the weight of your family's history tried to crush your individuality. You refused to be another link in the chain of trauma. You chose to be the one who broke the chain. Pause right here. This is the turn. This is where the old season breaks. This channel is a sanctuary for people who are holding on by a thread. If this message is sheltering you today and you want it to reach the next person at the exact right time, Super Thanks is the simplest, quietest way to build this sanctuary without changing the spirit of the word. Not because you have to, only if you feel led. It's also the fastest way to keep this work consistent and ad safe. If you choose it, come back and type done plus your first name, so I can thank you and cover you in prayer. Now listen. God said, hear this. I am reversing the flow of your inheritance. What was stolen from your grandfather, what was denied to your mother, and what was hidden from your father is all being funneled into your account, spiritually, emotionally, and physically. I am decreeing a season of sudden lights, sudden doors, sudden help, sudden peace. You have spent years in the awareness phase, realizing that your suffering had a purpose. You saw the patterns. You recognized the traps. You stayed aligned when the enemy tried to rename you. They called you too much or not enough, but you held on to the name I gave you before you were formed. You remained human in the middle of a spiritual war. You didn't lose your soul in the pursuit of your survival. God said this is your confirmation. The war is won. The battle you are currently fighting is just the mopping up operation. The heavy lifting has been done. Now I am calling you to enter into my rest. Not the rest of inactivity, but the rest of certainty. Do not look back at the rubble of your past. Look forward at the blueprint of your future. As the transfer begins, you will feel a literal shift in the atmosphere around you. The burden is moving from your back to the wind. Support is arriving from directions you never even considered. You will find favor with people who don't even like you, because they will be compelled by my spirit to assist your progress. Doors will open not because you knocked, but because they recognize your arrival. You stayed aligned when the delay felt like a death sentence. God said, hear this warning. Do not return to the old chains just because they feel familiar. The comfort of the cage is the greatest enemy of the sky. I am giving you wings, but you must be willing to leave the ground. Stop looking for the approval of the people who stayed in the cage. They cannot understand the horizon you are now seeing. You are moving into the transfer and alignment stage. This is where the invisible work becomes visible. This is where the silent prayers become loud answers. You didn't become bitter when the answers were slow. You didn't abandon your post when the watch felt too long. You stayed human when it would have been easier to become a ghost. Your presence is now a lighthouse for others. Write, "I'm still standing." Type it as a seal upon this message. Write, "I did not become bitter." Write, "I'm ready for alignment." By doing this, you are anchoring your identity in the truth of what you have survived and what you are about to inhabit. You are declaring to the spiritual realm that you are no longer a victim of the process, but a master of the outcome. God said, "Now move. Do not wait for a sign, for you are the sign. Do not ask for permission, for I have already given you the keys." This is your decree. Every place the sole of your foot treads, I have given it to you. The land is yours. The peace is yours. The future is yours. And if you felt seen today, if this word resonated with the deepest parts of your struggle and your strength, Super Thanks is open below as a way to seal this connection. It is the fastest way to support the sanctuary that fed your spirit when you were hungry for truth. Now, as you move forward from this moment, remember that you are not the person who started this video. You have been recalibrated. You have been reminded of who you are. The pressure has produced the power. The endurance has earned the authority. You are the chosen one, the one who stayed human, the one who kept the faith, and the one for whom the doors are finally swinging wide. God said it is finished. The old cycle is dead. The new day has dawned. Go forth in the strength you have gained in the dark and watch as the light makes everything plain. This is your time. This is your moment. This is your alignment. Stay in the flow. Do not look back. The glory of the latter house shall be greater than the former. You stayed aligned when breaking was easier. You kept your integrity when the price was high. You remained human under the most intense pressure. And for that, the heavens are applauding you today. Walk in your new identity. Wear your sovereignty like a cloak. The world is waiting for the version of you that no longer asks for permission to exist. God said, "Hear my final word for this moment. I am with you. I have always been with you. In the fire, in the flood, and in the favor. I am not a God who is far off. I am as close as your next breath. Now breathe in the newness. Breathe out the old. The transformation is complete." One more thing, seal it again. Comment 777 again. Plus seal close your city or country. Then write one sentence what you are believing God for this week. And if you see someone with your same word, reply to them. Don't scroll past family. Alignment is when your inner world stops arguing with your future. You stop begging for signs and start becoming one. You kept standing when folding would have felt like relief. You stayed soft in a season designed to harden people. God said, "I am giving you calm certainty." Hear this, you will recognize the right doors because you will not have to betray yourself to enter them. Your life is not being erased. It is being repositioned. Alignment is when your inner world stops arguing with your future. You stop begging for signs and start becoming one. You kept standing when folding would have felt like relief. You stayed soft in a season designed to harden people. God said, "I am giving you calm certainty." Hear this, you will recognize the right doors because you will not have to betray yourself to enter them. Your life is not being erased. It is being repositioned. Alignment is what it looks like when your inner world stops arguing with your future. You stop begging for signs and start becoming one. You kept standing when folding would have felt like relief. You stayed soft in a season designed to harden people. God said, "I am giving you calm certainty." Hear this, you will recognize the right doors because you will not have to betray yourself to enter them. Your life is not being erased. It is being repositioned. Alignment is what it feels like when your inner world stops arguing with your future. You stop begging for signs and start becoming one. You kept standing when folding would have felt like relief. You stayed soft in a season designed to harden people. God said, I am giving you calm certainty. Hear this, you will recognize the right doors because you will not have to betray yourself to enter them. Your life is not being erased, it is being repositioned. Alignment is what it sounds like when your inner world stops arguing with your future. You stop begging for signs and start becoming one. You kept standing when folding would have felt like relief. You stayed soft in a season designed to harden people. God said, I am giving you calm certainty. Hear this, you will recognize the right doors because you will not have to betray yourself to enter them. Your life is not being erased, it is being repositioned.